Okay, the first thing we are going to do is to start to learn how to use our yearbook program, Yearbook Avenue. So we want to open up our internet. We want to make sure we're on Chrome and not Safari. If you do not see Chrome down here, we're going to come to your Finder. We're going to go to Applications, and we're going to go look for Google Chrome. And we're going to pull that down into our dock. When you open Google Chrome, you can just Google search Yearbook Avenue. And we're going to click on the second one. If you click on the first one, it's just going to take you to the logged out page. So if we need to go to the second one, which is logged in. Our job number is up on the front whiteboard, all the way in the corner on the right side. It's 31638, and your login is the same exact login as your computer. It should be your last name with 4 numbers and student capital S with 4 your lunch code numbers. It's going to open up a page like this. Every single time you log in and you want to edit or create a page, we're going to come up here to create, and we're going to click on Layout Pro. Now you're going to see all the pages of the yearbook. When you actually start designing a page, you're going to come up here to My Assigned. For now, we are going to create a practice page. So you're just going to go to File, and we're going to click New Practice Page, and you're going to name it Your Name Practice. To start out, your page might need a title. We're going to come over here to text, and you can choose a font for your title. Now some of these fonts say caption and story and page number. This is going to be every time you write a story. This is going to be your font every time you put a caption on a photo, and these are going to be your page numbers. So let's stick to our headline fonts. I like this one, so I'm just going to drag it over here, and we have this text on here. I'm going to triple click it to highlight it. You can just click on it and delete, whatever works for you. And I'm going to have my page be about me. Now, this is a tiny little headline. I want my headline to be much bigger. So let's say I want to try to make my headline 72 pixels, font size 72. It's still not very big. Let's keep going. What does this look like? Okay, this we can see breaks up my text. So let's just take this yellow box and we're going to extend it. Then all of a sudden, I get this red X and all my text disappeared. That means my box is not big enough to fit all my text. So let's make this box bigger until it fits. And we have a box that fits the text. Now let's say I wanted this text to go on both pages. It won't let me do that because what this is called down the middle is the gutter. Any text that is in the gutter is going to be in the crease of the book, so it'll get cut off. You won't be able to read it. So I'm going to put my title up at the top. Now I'm going to need some pictures on my page. So this one does say images. There's an image of me we're going to see later. But if you go through these are all going to be images that we have used in the book. So I just want to add places where I'm going to put images later. That's going to be found in our Arts tab. We're going to open up Image Frame, and I'm going to drag my image onto my page. The next thing I want to do is put a picture in there. So, how do we put pictures in our program? I need to leave this page to go put an image into Yearbook Avenue. The one thing about Yearbook Avenue is it does not save our pages automatically. We are all used to Google Drive that saves automatically. We don't have to click anything. With this, we need to save. So we're going to come up here to this button and click save. If you're ever going to go anywhere and you want to make sure your page has been saved, this little save button is going to be grayed out and it's going to tell you when it was last saved. At 126, it's 126. So let's go add an image into our image library. We're going to come back up here to create. We're going to go to our image library. Again, there's the picture of me that I'm going to show you how to put in there. Yours is going to look like this. We are going to go into activities. This is where all of our pictures are. We have created a folder just for practice. You're going to click on practice and you're going to be able to upload, and you can either choose image and go find it from the computer, or you can drag images and it's going to put another picture of me on there. Now, let's say you don't have any pictures of you or of whatever you're making your practice page about on your computer. A great way to get them on your computer is to email them to your school email, and you can get them from there. Or you can totally just go look up some pretend pictures just to make up a practice page. Girl in mountains. And we're gonna pretend this one is me. And we can drag that over onto our desktop, and we can go back and upload that from there. For the practice page, you can use fake images. That is just fine. Now we need to go back to our practice page and put this picture in there. So we're gonna come back up here to create, Layout Pro, and we need to get back into our practice pages. We are going to go to Designs, and if it's not already on practice pages, we can find that there. And to edit it, we're going to click this I and go back to Edit. So we want to put a picture of me on my About Me page. We're going to come back in here to Images, and we need to go down into our practice folder. And now we can just drag this, and it's going to put me into my own page. So as I just start to design, I may be going to put, I want another square image right here the exact same size. So maybe instead of trying to get the same size of my image frame, I'm just going to copy this, which depending on your keyboard will either be Command C or Window C, and then Command V to copy. And you can see with this red line, it kind of snaps me into the correct place to be even. Now, I don't want myself on there twice, so to get my picture out of there, I'm going to double click. While we're here, this is where we can also crop photos. I can make my cell bigger or smaller. For now, I don't want this picture in there at all, so I'm just going to double click and delete. I want to show you is how to add shapes. We're going to come back over to our art section where we find our image frames, and here we see our shapes. We are going to ignore clip art. Clip art has a bunch of little objects that look like they should go in an elementary school yearbook. So we're going to stay away from clip art. The backgrounds are also super cheesy. We're going to avoid the backgrounds. And the flow is for putting portraits in at the very end, so you don't need to worry about those. So let's go look at shapes. I want to put a rectangle for my design that goes all the way across both of my pages, called a spread. I'm going to bring my square over here, and I can move that, and I'm going to extend it with the yellow square all the way across the page. I can make it skinnier or thicker. With this top yellow square, I can tilt things, which is the same with anything I add in here. We can tilt things, make things bigger or smaller. I'm going to undo that. Maybe I want to add an outline to my box. I can come down here. A stroke means an outline. I'm going to make this a 2-point stroke. The larger number you have, the thicker your outline is. You can do this to photos as well. You can add an outline to create a frame. If you want to change the color of your outline, you can change it there. So I have a rectangle all the way across my page, but now I cannot see my pictures. We need to put our rectangle behind our pictures. We're going to click on it. We have 2 ways to do this. You can either right click and click arrange and send to back, or you can arrange up here and send to back. Now we have a line that goes all the way across my page and is underneath my images. Let's say I now want to change the color of my page. You can totally leave your page white. These grids will not show up in the end. But if I want to change the background of my page, I am going to right click somewhere where there is not an object, and I can change background here. Here's my background color. Maybe I want my page to be blue. It will only do 1 page at a time. Maybe I want to, then you would go to your right page and you can change it and just X out. Maybe if I decide I'd change my mind later, I can go and change my background again and remove background. We can also change our tint to make it lighter or darker. I'm going to keep my page blue. I like it. Next thing we need is a story. Every page needs a story. So I'm going to put my story in a box down here. You don't have to. I'm just going to make a box for my story. And we're going to come back here to text. Remember, we have text for stories. Every single story in our book is going to have the same text. So I am just going to drag this text onto my page. We're going to double click or triple click to edit it. And I'm just going to tell you my favorite memory. I want this to be all on one line, so I'm going to pull this over and correct my spelling. I'm going to pull another block of text down to add my story in here. Now, I already wrote my story before making this tutorial, so you didn't have to watch me type a story out. So here's my favorite story about traveling. I'm going to paste this in here. Now let's say I pasted it and it looks like this. We have a red X. That means our text does not fit in our text box. We need to pull this down until our red X goes away. Now it fits. So you can read, my favorite memory was traveling to the West Coast. I met a friend there. In every story or on every page, we need a quote from someone that was on that page. We want to have their name on their quote. When we write out quotes, we need to write exactly what they say. If they say something like, my favorite memory was the time I traveled, we are going to include the word in there. Anytime we include quotes, it needs to be their exact words. So we're going to put, it was, let me get back over there. It was an unforgettable experience I will remember forever, said Kara Ganser, a staff at Brooklyn Center. So that's how you include quotes and a story. Now remember, once again, our pages do not save on their own. So let's hit that save button. I would highly encourage you to hit that save button as many times as you think about it. We have had many students get 40 minutes into a page and who knows, the internet crashes and their changes were not saved. Just because you're not done for the day doesn't mean you can't hit that save button. Hit it every 10 minutes would be awesome. So now I want to add some elements from our cover. We have this really cool cover with all these doodles on it. And we got those doodles so that we can include them on our pages. And those are actually in our images under creative resources. So maybe I want to I'm going to drag a crown and I'm going to put it on my title. I'm going to rotate it, and I feel like it makes it so it's hard to read my title. So I'm going to right click my title and arrange and bring to front. Now my crown is behind. We have diamonds, we have squiggles, we have a bunch of doodles you can add to your background, hearts with wings. We have our mascot in there that's on the front of our page. You can find, and we have our title of our book, suns, stars, anything you want. Make your page align with our theme. The last thing I'm going to show you is how to write a caption. So let's say I want to add an image of my dog. Let's make sure my page is saved. We're gonna go here to image library, and I have added some pictures of me and my dog, and let's put a picture of my cat in there. Again, we're gonna go back to Create, Layout Pro, Designs. I'm already on my practice pages. I'm going to edit my practice page. I'm just gonna copy and paste and add these images over here. And go back to my images in my practice images. And there's me and my dog. And there is my cat. Now, let's add some captions. We're going to go back to our text, and here we have a font just for captions. I'm going to add that on there. And let's write a caption. We want to make sure we have the names of the people in the picture in our captions. So my dog's name is Pavi. So we're going to write Pavi. And all of our captions should be in present tense. We are not writing Pavi was riding in the car. We're going to write Pavi is riding in the car to the dog park. He is stoked. Again, our text box does not fit our text. Let's make it bigger. Now it fits. So we see how our text box is kind of snapping to these places. Maybe I don't want it quite where it's snapping. I can use my arrow keys and we can move things over to exactly where we want them. That's not how we even spell Pavi's name. There we go. And we'll write a caption for Gala. We're going to say my cat, but if we were doing it for the school, we may say an 11th grader. So Gala, my cat, is chillin' hard. And we're going to make it fit our text box. We're going to move it to where we want it. Let's add some boxes so that we can see, because that black is really hard to see on my blue background. Again, with my box being in front of my text, I'm going to right click, arrange, send to back. Again, do not forget to save your page every once in a while. While I'm finishing up my tutorial, of course, my page is not done. Your page will look a lot more finished when you are done to turn it in. We'll put a gray box on this caption. And lastly, I'm going to add from my creative resources. Let's go find some more doodles to add. What if I had doodles on my whole background? Let's see how big we can make this. Ooh, I can put doodles on the whole page. Maybe I want it just on this side. I don't want doodles on top of my images. So I'm going to arrange and send to back. And there is my slightly started practice page, mine not yet finished practice page. Remember, when you are done, click save. I am super excited to see you guys' practice page and be able to get to know a little bit more about you. Thank you for helping us on the yearbook.